This is a feature review of electronics from Audionet of Germany. We will be reviewing the Preg G2 Linestage, their top-line model. We'll also be reviewing the Audionet Max Monoblocks, their top-line power amplifiers. And we'll be mentioning the DNC, the Digital Network Client, as their streamer network player. It's a D to A converter that will read digital files from any source on your network. Audionet. Audionet is a 20-year-old company from Germany. I discovered it at the 2013 Consumer Electronics Show, THE show, in Las Vegas. They were exhibiting with a pair of Rido loudspeakers. It was the first day of the show. We came in, my listening team, myself, sat down in the sweet spot, and there was a Saint-Saëns organ symphony being played. And it was filling the room with beautiful acoustic space. And the pedal of the organ was just extraordinary. So I struck up a conversation with Audionet's CEO, Thomas Gessler. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary here in 2015. So I went off to other rooms at the show, never forgot that experience. He emailed me a private invitation to attend one of his dealers in Munich, Germany during the high-end show of 2013. So I took my team over to the dealer. They had a setup of Kef blades, and the group from Audionet had brought down from Bochum, Germany, a whole van full of equipment. Preamplifiers, power amplifiers, CD players, phono stages. It surrounded the perimeter of the room. And here you can take a look at it. Well, this was the first time I had ever heard Kef blades disappear. Usually I hear a little bit of a focus sound, like my hands are cupped around my mouth with Kefs, and I hear the bass being a little bit light and disconnected. This time it was like it was one driver, and I know that was Kef's goal with the blade, to make it sound extremely coherent, and now they did. And in fact, here, take a quick listen.
Randwick bells are ringing. Must be.
And that's that actual session we did in Munich in 2013. Well, later on, Audionet sent over to AVShowrooms the monoblocks, the Linestage, and a network player. And we've been using them on a multitude of systems. We began with the Audionet monoblocks on the Sonya speakers, on the YG Sonyas. And here you can take a look and see what that system looks like. That was a match made in heaven. The YGs on my reference solid state amplifiers were a little two-dimensional. I dropped the Audionet Max in the system, and it was as if the room had just expanded and the speakers almost vanished. Then we dropped in that same system, the Preg G2 Linestage. And instead of the images being right there and kind of out in front of you, now they were surrounding you. So initial signature of Audionet is that almost surround sound effect of image placement within your listening environment. It is very, very special. So let's talk about and start with the Preg G2. This is a Linestage only unit. It features a volume control with an electronic resistance network. And you know that, where you have so many resistors in the network for the control itself, so each one is discrete for the level of volume. It's computer processor controlled. The signal carrying and functions of the controller are optically separated from the next door components. This ensures that the input and output circuits are immune from the effects of noise, distortion, and crosstalk. Everything's presented in a fairly well-sized LED display. Of course, it's all controlled via remote control as well, using a Logitech multi-purpose remote control. The preamp features dual mono construction. It's completely DC coupled. There are no caps at all in the signal path. There's two big, massive transformers here in the Preg G2. It's got a robust faceplate, and the chassis, though it just looks like lightweight sheet metal, it is not. It is very heavy. And here you can even, on the top of the unit, I'm ringing it, quite robust. The Preg G2 features 5 pairs of Ferrutech RCA gold-plated inputs, a balanced gold-plated XLR input. Outputs are RCA line out, again, Ferrutech, 1 pair of RCAs inverting, 1 pair of XLRs, and 1 pair of Ferrutech RCA monitors, and these are gold-plated as well. It's got a ground connection, screw type, so if you're getting home from your phono stage, you might want to run a wire from your phono stage over and test that if you have any ground loops normally on phono in your system. It's elegant to look at, as you can see. Okay, let's talk about the monoblocks next. The Audionet Max. 700 watts per channel into 4 ohms, 400 watts per channel into 8 ohms. Extremely high damping factor. They'll drive any loudspeaker. As I mentioned, I had them on Sonya's. I've had them on MBL 101E Mark IIs. And in the current setup, on Perfect 8 Cubes. The Max comes with RCA and XLR inputs. They're electronically switched over with gold-plated precision relays. So when you think of this amplifier, you're thinking super technology, extremely wide bandwidth. Audionet even manufactures its own op amps. How cool is that? The output stage of the Max has 8 hand-selected power MOSFETs, and they have actively controlled bias. The microprocessor unit controls all the functions and permanently monitors the DC, the temperature, the overload. If there's any fault, any problems with the amplifier, it disconnects the Max from the main supply. The Max is an ultra-linear amplifier using Audionet's special ULA technology. Signal paths are extremely short. It has massive toroidal transformers for the power stage, over 1,000 VA. The Max features a gold-plated Ferrutech RCA line input, 1 XLR balanced, and the outputs are also Ferrutech 4mm jacks. We tested the Ferrutechs against WBTs. The unit came to us from Germany a year and a half ago at WBTs. They've soon switched over to the more natural sounding Ferrutechs. If you have an earlier model of an Audionet amplifier, you should contact your distributor or Audionet to have the upgrade done to the new speaker terminals. Now we've set the system up and placed the amplifiers on still points, and the Preg G2 on still points as well. The system consists currently of the Kronos limited edition turntable the Black Beauty arm, the Triangle Art Zeus cartridge. We're using a motif phonostage. Cabling is by Kabbalah Sosna. Prana wire, Purist Audio Design, Terror Labs, Encline, and Crystal. The current loudspeakers are Perfect 8 cubes, and you can see the Max, the Preg G2, and you can see we've set the electronics up on maple butcher block and wired it into our dedicated lines. The fit and finish is of extremely high quality. They're subdued to look at. You don't have excessive bling with Audionet components, so they'll fit into any decor. I think they look stunningly handsome with the way they set up here in this system. Don't you agree? Well, that's an overview of the Preg G2 and the Max monoblock amplifiers from Audionet. Let's go on and take a listen and see how they sound. So here we go. Let's go over to the next clip. Let's do some listening, and then come back and we'll meet up and we'll talk about what we've heard and what I've been hearing for the past year and a half on 3 different speaker systems with the Audionet electronics. Here we go.